Good afternoon. Here we're taking a drive of about 8 kilometers to Santos. Here we are joining the main road, which would take you eventually up to the mountains and join the motorway Imigrantes to the major city of Sao Paulo. We're going to go along here about maximum 2 kilometers. And we will turn off to the right and pass a small village called Japuí, where we will come to a very old bridge called Ponta Pencil. Here on the right is a building. It's a theatre and art gallery run by the local mayor. Never visited it, but one day we'll pass and have a look in. As we're going down the main high road here, we have an entrance to my right there, which is for the major shopping centre at Plaza. Now we are in the main road going down to the bridge. Here we have a village called Japuí, and very shortly we have some new buildings. Just past the garage here are some new offices, shops and small commercial places selling bits and bobs for boats. Here now we have the lagoon to my left, and we have the river inlet running through here very shortly out to the major part of the bay, which we're now driving round. On the other side is Japuí. This is now São Vicente. Over there, which looks like an island, is Ilha Porchá. Has some very nice chic restaurants at the top and some very clubby nightclubs halfway down the mountainside. We will drive round there, and at the point at the end there we will turn left to go towards Santos. This is a one-way system, and in the old days it used to run counter-clockwise to what we are doing today. I think this is probably the easiest way to do it. The beach in São Vicente is not too busy because it's almost the end of the holiday season. The temperature is very high today, about 32 degrees. But it's very cloudy and it's very sticky heat, very uncomfortable. I can see on the dashboard, yeah, it's 32 degrees and it's 5 to 2. This is normally about the hottest part of the afternoon. And now we turn along the beach. We have here shops and church, would you believe? Very modern church. Underneath the big apartment blocks here are some small cafes. If I look here, we have the Cyclovia. Here in the past were some white little bars and kiosks, but I'm glad that the mayor has pulled them down because they were an eyesore and didn't match the local scenery whatsoever. A couple of years ago there was old brick and wooden kiosks selling beer and food. Just up on the left here you can see a brown sign. This is Restaurant Gaudio. Quite chic, a little bit on the expensive side, but the service is very good. It is immaculately clean, unlike some bars here who don't know the meaning of the word hygiene. Here there's a beach kiosk trolley. They're very common along the beach, selling more or less anything you want. And if they haven't got it, miraculously, it will soon appear. At the end of the beach road here are some roadworks which have been going on for about a year. They finish, they open, they finish, they start again. What they're doing is replacing the pavements and putting a central verge in to split the traffic. I think it'd be nice when it's finished. Here is the main avenue leading down past supermarkets and commercial shops and banks. And in about a kilometre we'll come to the beginning of Itarare, which is a very large open space area along the beach with some of the older kiosks. For me, they're better than what the modern ones are, but I think they will all disappear eventually. Right, here is the beginning of Itarare, very open space. Usually there are festivals held here, circuses, fairs. It's a very large open area, and very soon as we go around the curve here, we will come to, on my right hand side, a place where there is a chairlift going up to the top of the mountains. The mountains above the city are a good area where the kite surfers jump off and with their suits and hopefully land here on my right in about 100 meters on a great big open green grassy plain next to the sea. Very quiet at this time of year. The holiday season is over. We had millions here only 2 weeks ago. The weather for the last 2 to 3 weeks has been heavy torrential rain at night. Maybe this has put people off coming away. Doesn't make sense because people love the beach to get away from the hot concrete jungles of the cities and the interior. So I can imagine how they feel. I used to do the same thing back in England, living in central Birmingham. We used to escape to the south coast every weekend, come rain or shine. And we used to head for either Weymouth or Dawlish, and Teignmouth and Torquay, Paynton and Dartmouth were our favourite haunts. Sadly those days are a long time back in the past, but the life here is good, always sunshine, apart from the last few weeks. Cost of living by comparison to the UK is about 20% cheaper than the UK, maybe higher, maybe 30% cheaper than the UK. I don't know how people manage to survive there anymore, I really don't. It seems that the government allow this and they're quite happy to keep it going like this. Here is the main avenue down the middle of Santos, and in the centre we would have the VLT trains. But as it's mid-afternoon now, I think we're not probably going to see any, and probably between 4 and 7 o'clock and early morning is peak time when the workers going to and from the port, which is the largest in South America, by the way, and it's also the largest port of Brazil. There are, I last counted, something like 44 berths for ships to come in at once, and you can see them lined up out at sea in rows waiting their turn to come in. They are visited by security patrols who examine their cargoes, check the crew for any illnesses, because they will not let anybody off the boat if they are suffering from any infection. And obviously it's a great route for smuggling drugs and things which are embargoed by other countries. The police and the customs have their work cut out, I'm afraid. Right. Here we are, just about to do a loop, and we will do a left turn at the lights here and a sharp right, and we'll head to our destination. Hopefully we're not there too long. Right, now we're on the way back. We've reached the central avenue in the middle of the city again, supermarket. It's now an acai supermarket. Here we go past one of the local stations. No trains again, so obviously in the middle of the afternoon it's not that busy. So we have about a kilometre along here, and then we'll turn left back down by the canal and come to the beach road, ready for our return journey back through Itarare. We're coming to the end of Santos now. This area is called Jose Menino. There's a large restaurant to the right here, which is always chock-a-block full of people, so on that account it must be good. After the tall apartments in front of the sea here on my left is the start of Itarare, and we have about 2 kilometers of that before turning right. Here's the central garage. We can see the prices have increased. We're now paying an average of about 80 to 90 cents per litre, higher than we were 2 weeks ago. Itarare is a nice open space. Really is a pleasant view out over the sea. And again, looking over to the left distance is Isla Porchat with the restaurants and clubs up on the top area. Very shortly we'll come to the end of Itarare and we will turn right, and I'll say at this point, good afternoon to everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. Look forward to seeing you soon. Bye for now.